We're now going to do a couple of projects using our paper shadows. Now, all of the paper shadow dies work in the same way. They work like our old melded die. So you have your base die, so to speak, that's going to cut out your detail, and then you have your extra die that's going to cut it out of your cardstock if that's what you want. So I'm going to work with the Reverence. You also have the Elegance, and you also have the Brilliance. Now, outside of the collection, you've also got the Peaceful and the Harvest as well. And all 5 of those work in the same way. So like I say, we're just going to work for now. Let's put that one back in. It's escaping. We're going to work with the Reverence. This is quite a simple card. I'm going to keep it simple for the first one, and then we're going to make the second one a little bit more detailed. So what we've got is I've got my Reverence. Now you get 2 different downloads for each die. You get one with the blue sky behind and one without. Now this one is without because I didn't want the blue around the edge. So you'll see why in a minute. So I lay my die over first. Oh, one more thing just to show you. To show you where to line up these dies, when you look on this side, you can see little gaps. So I can see a break in the cutting blades here and a break in the cutting blades there. So consequently, if I just put my fingers there, I have put a little mark with a permanent pen just on the corresponding side. It's not going to do your die any harm at all, but it just means it's easier. Once I flip the die over, because I obviously can't then see those marks, it's going to make life easier to line it up. Now the thing about paper shadows is the concept is all about sometimes having the outline detail is just as dramatic as having the full image. So this is going to cut out and leave us just with the outline detail. So now I take this die here and I line it up with those marks. Now, if some people don't like putting 2 dies next to each other because they can jump and they can overlap, and I totally get that. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, cut it in 2 goes. You need to cut the base first and then you can add in the extra die. You might even find you get more accurate cut doing it that way. I'm quite happy that I've got those secured down tightly, so it's entirely up to you. But like I say, if you want to do it in 2 goes, do it in 2, or tape it down like I have done and do it in 1. So once we've done that, I'm going to get this through. Now this collection had the most beautiful printed paper pack, and we're going to make the most of that paper pack in this project. So let's lift this off from here, then we can get those out of the way. So right, that's coming off nicely. I'm going to take this little die off first, then I'm going to lift this. So this is cut into your cardstock beautifully, and just going carefully. There's the church out, look at that. Now I've lined these up really accurately, so I've only got the smallest little piece. Oh, I didn't even really need to snip there, because what happens is the blades don't quite touch because they're linked together. But look at that. So you can see that pin dot just carries on through, but it comes right down here. But look at this. So like you say, you've got the outline of the church rather than the full detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it onto my card. So I've taken my card base. Now, remember I was talking about those beautiful papers. Look at these. These are from the paper pack. This is one of the A4 designs, just slightly cut down. You'll get some as what we call duo pages, so you get 2 A5 images on. So if you were doing something a bit smaller, if I just wanted the image behind the church, then I could have used one of the A5 images, but I actually want this to be the inside of my card, so I've just trimmed down my A4 image. So let's pop that in there. And then I've just used blue cardstock from my stash, because believe you me, I've got a little bit of cardstock in my craft room, just a little bit. I do wonder how my craft room hasn't ended up in the kitchen yet. It's gone through the roof. My husband always says to me, why didn't we build the craft room down in the converted garage? It would just save a lot of wear and tear on our stairs. But there you go, hey ho. Right, so there is that beautiful image. So I've used one of my circle dies. You can see it's just off to the left, just slightly. And onto there, I'm going to pop my next layer. And again, you can really see now we've come over to the left. And that's because this doesn't sit totally centrally in my image. So it will all work out perfectly. And that's going to go on the front. And when let's just put this down here, and you can see I've just cut the same one through so that we've got the mats and layers at the back, but at the front we've just got that perfect blue aperture. So that when we take this one, this is going to pop on there, and you just can see that seam. We've not obscured it by putting extra layers in the middle. You could if you wanted to, or you could just do it like this. Now, should we go? Let's go with some foam tape. Let's change our mind as we go along this. Let's see if I've got an open roll of foam tape. Oh, this one is. I think that will look really pretty. So let's see. Let's lift it slightly. Actually, I'm going to need to put the foam tape quite near to the edge. Just on there. I might regret this now, because there's not a lot of space to put foam tape on, is there? But no, we'll commit to it now we've done it. Let's get another roll, get rid of that one, that one's empty. And then we're going to take the piece down here. Just trim that off. And let's come just up the side, just there. That side should be easy, look. But keep it quite close to the edge because I've got that aperture. We don't want the tape to show through. On the other side, pop that on there, and then let's just come down on that side, just there. Right, there we go. Now what you might want to do is you might want to add wet glue to the back of your foam tape, and you might think, well, isn't the foam tape adhesive? Yes, it is, but if foam tape will touch and stick. If I add a little bit of wet glue, it means that I've got that minute or two to adjust everything to make sure that I've got it in the best possible placement. So that's going to go down there and there. Like I say, a little bit of wet glue so that that touches first before the foam tape. Now I don't need any adhesive on there because I've got that lovely aperture. And that now just is allowing me to pop that on to there and just lift it up. Oh, and look at that. No foam tape showing. That was lucky. Now what I did was I had another one cut out and I trimmed out the flowers. So I'm going to pop those just down there. So we've got that little bit of symmetry. You could cut out as many of these as you want. The more of these you cut out, the prettier it will look. I'm going to pop that just down there. I've also got a sentiment forever and always, because I was thinking when I was putting this together, this was going to be a wedding card because it's absolutely perfect for that. Then I'm just going to grab my hot glue gun. I've got some blues and some greens coming through, so I thought that was the perfect opportunity for me to use my blue and green ribbon. I do like this. It's very fresh, very clean, but look at that. The colours are all picking up from there. And again, so we've got symmetry there. We've got symmetry there. Maybe you might want to put a couple of liquid pearls at the top, but how about that? I've kept that simple, but look at that. When you pull it away from that background, doesn't that look beautiful? Now that is your paper shadows.